This is JP with Political Pop Culture, and this is a hot take. So, as I do every morning, I'm going through the news, and I came across a story that I think you need to see, and I'm just going to jump right into this here. Bill to undo right to work laws in 27 states passes the House of Representatives. In what is being called the largest effort to expand labor union rights since the New Deal of the 1930s, the Democrat led House has passed the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. This is such a bad idea, and it's such a bad idea for so many reasons, but give me a second. I'm going to finish reading this here, and then we'll get into the meat of this. The bill is described as an effort to halt right-to-work laws in 27 states which protect workers from being compelled to pay union dues as a condition of employment. If you don't live in a right-to-work state, or even if you do, some people don't understand basically what that means. Right to work, you cannot be compelled to pay union dues in order to have employment. So if you are in an auto factory in Nebraska. I don't know if there are any auto factories in Nebraska, but if you're in an auto factory in Nebraska, you cannot be compelled to pay union dues as a condition of employment. However, that same exact factory in Michigan, you absolutely will have to join the union in order to work at the factory. Now, the difference is you're actually going to do better in Nebraska than you are in Michigan, because the union is going to charge you union dues. They're going to take your dues, and they're going to then pay off Democrat politicians. This has been the story of unions for decades. There's no secret that the unions support Democrat politicians. Because of that, now the politicians are saying, okay, it is time for us to support the unions and re-strengthen the unions, bring back the power of the union. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for everybody. In a right-to-work state, okay, granted, you don't have as much worker protection in a right-to-work state. You can be fired as a worker. You can be fired for any reason as long as it doesn't violate law. So you can't fire somebody based on sex or religion or race, but you can fire somebody because they wear an offensive t-shirt. You can fire somebody because they mouth off to the boss. Whereas in a union job, that's not necessarily the case, because you have the union which decides what you can and can't be fired for. Now, I can tell you as an employer, I would never do business, never open a business that unions could control in a union state. I wouldn't do it. And you have seen this, not just from little guys like me, you have seen this from huge companies like Boeing moving to states where there aren't union protections for the workers. It's actually a better thing for the workers. You look at workers in Tennessee, they're making more money than workers in Michigan. I'm getting off point, and I apologize. The act allows union leaders expanded control over how unionization votes are held and gives union organizers access to the contact information of individual workers. Such power would empower unions to contact and harass employees outside of business hours, particularly during membership drives. Seriously, if you're a worker, do you want the union calling and harassing you, trying to raise money? Especially if you're a conservative, you know that they're going to take that money and support somebody like Joe Biden, or worse yet, they're going to support somebody like AOC. No, of course not. This is one of the reasons that unions are outdated. It's a horrible idea. Having proclaimed himself the most pro-union president you've ever seen, as if we need another reason to not like this guy, President Biden has given the bill his full support. Still, odds of the act's passage are slim, as it faces an uphill climb in the evenly divided Senate. Good news there is that it would require 60 votes to pass in the Senate, and there is a 0% chance that it gets a 60 votes in the Senate. But you need to call your representatives right now. If they voted for this, you need to call your representatives and you need to tell them this is a load of, as the President Biden would say, this is malarkey. This is a terrible idea. The reason that you have more than half of the country is right-to-work states is because the days where unions actually did any good for anybody other than themselves and their corrupt politicians they support, those days are long gone. That is my hot take on this. I would love to hear your take. If you have an opinion that differs than mine, if you have an opinion that echoes mine, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like what we're doing here, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the rumble button. That little bit of effort does make a big difference for the channel. Again, I'd love to hear your take. Let us know in the comments. You can also join the cult at Pol Pot Cult on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Rumble. And that's it. That's all I've got for you right now. We'll talk to you soon.